Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is for how to attract a Capricorn lover. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. So cardinal earth sign means that Capricorn is not only a catalyst, but a catalyst for projects that involve practical matters. Therefore, Capricorn is all about productivity. In fact, it's ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is the planet of discipline and organization and, making these long-term plans. So suffice it to say that in order to attract a Capricorn person, you should be somebody who is about something. In other words, if you're kind of wandering through life, chances are the Capricorn person doesn't see you as a good bet or a viable option, because Capricorn is coming from the perspective of how does this person enhance my life? And some people may hear that and say, well, that's pretty opportunistic. I mean, that's not romance. That's not what love is all about. But I firmly believe that if two people have a similar mindset that is along those lines, that's perfectly fine. It's almost like business partners who also happen to have romantic feelings for one another. And so Capricorn is looking for somebody to be a good partner to them or with them, however you should say it. And the problem is when you get somebody who has stars in their eyes and is just looking for their knight in shining armor, and they're not necessarily interested in these kinds of matters, and the Capricorn person feels like they're just like using them for their money or their status because they feel like they're not bringing the same to the table. And so more than look at it from the perspective of, oh, this is romantic and this is too pragmatic, I would say that if you really are serious about certain matters like this, then Capricorn can be a wonderful partner for you. But if you feel like you're more interested in fun and creativity and things like that, you may find that the Capricorn person is too serious for you. And these are obviously broad brush readings where I'm just like taking the archetype or the template, the symbol of the sign, and talking about these characteristics. Not all Capricorns will follow this mold, and I know that very well. But in general, when I'm generalizing, I will tend to be more accurate than not because a lot will. And a lot of times it's not that anybody is wrong, it's just that they're different. And so it's important to have personalities that mesh well. Yes, of course, physical attraction isn't totally not important, but it doesn't sustain the relationship the way having common interests, a common, outlook on life can. Cardinal signs like Capricorn, and this would also include Libra, Cancer, and Aries, are doers. So they tend to be quite active, whatever it is that their interests are concerned with. And so, people like this being very active, they want somebody who is also active. They don't want a slacker, somebody who's a couch potato who doesn't like to do much of anything. Capricorn people may have a love for nature, being an earth sign, so they may enjoy hiking. The symbol of Capricorn is a mountain goat, so something that is outdoorsy, that can expend energy, And that's also maybe goal-oriented. If somebody says, I want to climb Mount Everest, and they want somebody to be there with them. I was trying to think of a mountain that isn't that, that intense, but I can't think of any right now. But just doing something that involves a goal, and the physical will always be a part of it. So they may like to work out. They may want to work out with you. And they may also like things that involve finances. So they may be involved in a stock investment club or just be interested in managing their resources in that way. They may even be enrolled in a training course or if they haven't gone to college, they may go back to get their degree or get an advanced degree, because they're always about self-improvement and raising their station in life. And they are going to be impressed with anyone who is doing the same. So the thing about Capricorn is that it tends to be a conservative sign, a traditional sign. So it's looking for a long-term relationship. It's not interested in a one-night stand or a short-term affair. The other thing that is important is that, like Taurus, and probably I would say Virgo, although who knows with Virgo, because Virgos can be quite different, I guess. I don't think a lot of Capricorns will appreciate somebody coming on too strong. So just be gradual. I think of the mountain goat climbing that mountain, and that can be the same thing with relationships, is that, Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, is all about old age. It's all about time, father time, I think it is. And it's like, if something is worth having, it takes time. So people like Aries, I'm talking to you, who are very impatient to begin something and who tend to become attracted to this because they're both cardinal signs, they may want to just kind of cut to the chase and just begin a relationship. And the Capricorn person is holding back, and they tend to be much more cautious in entering a relationship or doing just about anything for that matter. And they may actually recoil a bit if somebody tries to be too pushy, because they're a cardinal sign too. So they are used to calling the shots. And so if they get a sign like Aries trying to push them into something, their natural inclination can be to push right back. So that is one aspect, and just that a traditional mentality. Now, don't be something you're not. If you're not sure you want children and you know that this person is very family-oriented and they've discussed that they are looking forward to having a family, and you think, wow, they would be such a great catch because this person is so dependable and they're ambitious and they're already successful. And I mean, they could be very successful even in their 20s because they have such a strong drive. Remember that Capricorn rules the 10th house of career. So even when they're very young, they usually have a vision for their life, and they have that pattern that they're following. They tend not to wander around. If you see a Capricorn individual who is in their 20s who is kind of confused about their life, they probably have gotten way off track, because what might be normal for somebody else is not the norm for them. They tend to be very focused and very ambitious from an early age. So because of this, if you're the kind of like freewheeling type of person and you don't really care that much about a career, you're happy to have a job, you just want, maybe you are creative or you have some other kind of a hobby that interests you to the point that you just are working so that you can keep yourself alive, so you can do what you really love to do. The Capricorn person may not see you as somebody who is stable. And to them, even if they are stable, they are looking for somebody who is like that as well. Now, there may be exceptions to that, of course, especially if you have a man who's a Capricorn and he's looking for a mate who he wants to stay at home and raise his children. As I said, many of them may be quite traditional, regardless of where they come from. And that's what they're looking for. And I think it's only fair to honor people and what they're all about instead of trying to change them. So if you notice that there's a Capricorn individual and they seem to be very into a certain type of way of being, and you think, oh, this person is so antiquated, or they're living in the past and they need to catch up to 2018, what have you. That's not really fair. You know, some people want to do things as they've always been done, and they think that you can't improve upon tradition. Don't go into it thinking that you can change this person. See them as they really are. And yes, they may have so many wonderful qualities that you are attracted to, but this particular quality is a very important one, and that is that they may have this idea of, if you are a woman, that you're going to do X, Y, and Z. Either you're going to be a career woman like they're a career male, and you're going to want to build an empire with them, or that you're going to want to raise a family. And again, I realize that there are going to be some people that do not fit this mold. This is just looking at the archetype itself. In general, you may notice that Capricorn people tend to be traditional about their other aspects of life. And so if you do not consider yourself conservative, and we're not talking about politics per se, we're just talking about lifestyle, and you don't necessarily like to do things as they've always been done, then this person, even though they may be a good catch in many ways, may be somebody that you feel like you can't be yourself with. But what I was getting at when I was talking about the children issue is this person may come across as like the perfect partner, and they will be for somebody. But if these are not characteristics that you have, then you really should think twice about trying to pursue a relationship, even if the Capricorn person seems interested, because you don't want to end up later on feeling resentful that your freedom was not respected, that you didn't feel that you were allowed to explore different things. A Capricorn person is interested in building. You know, I think of the Three of Pentacles in the Tarot, the Architect's card. And actually, I think architecture is associated with Capricorn because it's all about structure, and that's what Saturn specializes in. And if the word structure makes you respond with, if you're allergic to that word, then realize that this kind of person is all about that usually. And they will, if you're that type of person, you're organized, you're structured, you're disciplined, you will definitely win the heart of a Capricorn person. Okay, well, that's what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye.